It was a Saturday morning, and I got a call from a friend of mine in the State Department. Tony, he says they're finally going to let her go as a result of the summit meeting. I was just beside myself. I didn't know what to do first. You know, I had no idea what to do first.
As a gesture of goodwill, Gorbachev selected 8 Russians who would be allowed to join their spouses in the United States. One of the 8 was Tatyana Bartholomew. That week, Tony saw his wife for the first time in over a year on American television, when an ABC News crew interviewed her in her Moscow apartment.
I found out about my release from the ABC crew, which is kind of like weird. I was just happy. I cried, you know, cried from happiness, maybe for the first time. These were the tears of happiness.
It all turned around so suddenly. One day there was no hope that they would ever see each other again. The next thing they knew, they were walking side by side in the Baltimore, Maryland airport, about to start their life together as husband and wife. Mr. and Mrs. Tony Bartholomew, your typical happy American couple, which is all they ever really wanted to be. For Tony and Tatyana, love knew no boundaries. Their fate decided in the halls of the White House and in the corridors of the Kremlin. I guess it's true what they say, love conquers all. Looking for love in all the wrong places. That's next on Love with a Twist.
Nothing refreshes you like Ocean Spray Creme Raspberry. Ask any Bobby.
Ah, so tangy, so crisp, so cool. Ocean Spray.
Taste refreshing Ocean Spray Creme Raspberry.
This is so good.
It's music to your mouth. Ah.
Whole grain oats and cinnamon make every oat taste as great as it sounds.
Listen to the sound of the whole apple cinnamon Cheerios.
Come, enter the halls of medicine. Bring your sore throat, your cough, your nose when it feels stuffy. Because these are Hall's Vapor Action Cough Suppressant Tablets. Come to the halls of medicine to feel better fast.
One just ain't no fun. Two is better than one. Oh, yes, it's 2 bits in one.
Freshens breath and tastes great.
Yes, it's 2 bits in one.
Introducing Advanced Action Whisk. Ring around the collar was just the beginning.
Disc, disc, disc. Whisk, whisk, whisk. Disc, disc, disc. Whisk, whisk, whisk.
New Whisk gets out stains better than ever. Cleans your whole wash better than ever. Ring around the collar was just the beginning.
Disc, disc, disc.
It's the best whisk ever. New Advanced Action.
Whisk, whisk, whisk.
When you know how to read, life can be a whole lot more rewarding. To find out about a reading program in your community, call this number.
Wednesday, look who's back.
Julie, Costello, this is,
Growing Pains. Then at a special time,
Your protector.
Doogie teaches sex ed.
When you guys jump out of an airplane without a parachute.
Doogie Howser, MD, after Growing Pains, Wednesday.
Young couples in love, each with their own special story. But none of them rival the amazing story of Sherry Netter and Jim Graham. Their story is so unbelievable that you're probably going to say, oh, come on, they made that up. But it really happened. It started when Sherry went to a dating service looking for Mr. Right, and she found him. Only he was so right, he was wrong. The town Sherry Netter lived in did not have a lot of eligible men to choose from, so the local dating service seemed like a good place for Sherry to go.
I decided to go ahead and join. And you had 3 ways of going in this date connection. It was computer dating, video dating, or a date book. And I said, well, let's go all 3 ways. I had to get a man one way or the other, and 3 chances better than 1, so.
The following week, Jim Graham, who lived in a nearby town, signed up at the same dating service.
I looked through the book, and that's when I discovered Sherry. She liked to sing, she liked to travel. Basically, everything that she liked to do, I liked to do.
He called me and wanted to know if we wanted to meet. And I understand at this dating facility, you have to meet in a public place for the first time.
So Jim invited her to dinner at a local McDonald's.
I figured he was going to, buy a Big Mac or one of the chicken sandwiches, or maybe even the highest price on the menu. But oh no, small hamburger and a small fry and a small Coke.
I'm a very budget-minded person when it comes to dating.
But that was okay with Sherry. She and Jim hit it off great. They both loved to go dancing, and they went nearly every weekend.
Let's dance.
Jim Graham, we have been dancing all night long.
Come on, Sherry.
All right.
Their relationship blossomed, and over the months, Sherry and Jim drew closer and closer. They were so much alike. They had similar interests, similar goals, even similar backgrounds.
We had discussed that we both were adopted. And I never met anyone that was adopted too, so we discussed that.
You know who your parents are. I just hope you appreciate it.
Well, I was real glad when I found my real parents, that's for sure.
Your brothers are really nice. I just don't know what I might find.
They come from millionaires. You could be worth a fortune.
Sure.
Jim had a point. You never know what might turn up. So Sherry hired a private investigator to help track down her biological family. She realized it was a long shot.
Well, one afternoon I was sitting at home, and I had not talked to my investigator for about 4 or 5 months, probably 6 months at the most. And he called me up and he said, Jerry, he said, I've got some information for you. And I says, oh, finally? And he said, yeah, and I thought it was just going to be little tidbits like it had been. He said, I found some of your family. He said, you have brothers and a sister.
The detective filled her in on the news she had waited so long to hear. But it was not at all what she expected.
What he said absolutely floored me. I was in a daze. Understand, I was just shocked. I said, what am I going to do?
Moments later, she received another phone call. This time it was Jim.
I can't talk right now. I don't know. Sometime later, okay? No, Jim, please don't. I can't see you anymore. No, I don't know.
And I'm the type of person that when somebody tells me they can't do something, I like to find out why. And I'm pretty persistent, so naturally I got in my van and I drove to where she was at. I asked her for about 30 minutes, and finally, through all the tears, she said,
Jim, you're my brother.
It's impossible. The detective was wrong. I'm not your brother. I'm your boyfriend, Sherry.
No, not anymore.
Jim was in a state of shock. Sherry was devastated. Relatively speaking, they had a bit of a problem. But as they sat there adjusting to this startling revelation, they realized they still had a lifetime to share. Maybe not as man and wife, but as brother and sister. Some things had to change, of course, but they could still enjoy their close friendship, and they could still enjoy wonderful times together.
What's the matter, Jim?
I just want to ask you to dance, is that all right?
Well, brothers and sisters can dance.
Yeah, I guess I can.
Jim became Sherry's loving brother and did what all good brothers do for their sisters. He fixed her up with his best friend, Paul. And you guessed it, Sherry and Paul are now happily married. As for Jim, well, he's back at the dating service.
I might tell all the women out there, single women, that I'm free to date once again. So, but if you're adopted, I might ought to check your credentials before we start dating. Make sure we're not related.
4 bells, rise and shine.
I can't move.
Oh, didn't you know sailing was a sport? You know, an active thing?
I don't get it. You're so together already. You smell great.
Must be my secret.
Sporty clean?
It's new.
Sounds like something I could use.
I don't think so. I got it for me for these close quarters.
Well, close is good.
Can't move, huh?
New Sporty Clean Secret. Strong enough for a man, but pH balanced for an active woman.
Now this has the odor-absorbing power of this. New Stay Free. Now with odor-absorbing baking soda inside every pad. It's protection like nothing else.
Isn't it kind of a weird idea?
No, it absorbs odors, doesn't it?
I know.
I think it makes perfect sense.
New Stay Free. Now with odor-absorbing baking soda inside every pad. It's protection like nothing else.
Next, William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, and Back from the Future, Christopher Lloyd. Star Trek 3. Next.
Never in his wildest dreams did he imagine he'd become the most idolized singer in the world. Elvis, Tuesday, February 6th.
We meet someone, we fall in love, we live happily ever after. Or at least that's the way it's supposed to happen. But as you've seen tonight, sometimes fate steps in and turns your life around. And the road from that first glance to happily ever after can lead to struggle, adventure, triumph. All the elements of love with a twist. Good night.
This is Charles Gibson. This week, an array of stars. Denzel Washington, Bob Hoskins, John Goodman, Bette Midler, and Jessica Lange. Plus an interview with Vice President Dan Quayle on Good Morning America.
You're invited to Suzanne Summers' romantic Adobe Hideaway Monday on The Home Show and meet a woman whose life was saved by watching The Home Show. This is Gary Collins. Join us.
Now stay tuned for the ABC Sunday Night Movie. Next. Some health claims you read on food labels are highly misleading, and the government may doom a program to correct it. Watch ABC's World News Tonight with Peter Jennings this week.
The 1990 Sierra from GMC Truck. 4.3-liter Vortec V6 standard. 7,500-pound towing capacity standard. Premium quality backed by a bumper-to-bumper plus warranty. GMC Truck. It's not just a truck anymore.
See your Great Plains GMC truck dealers now.
Your nervous system helps you think, move, and speak. Sometimes this nervous system is injured or malfunctions. When problems occur, skilled neurologists or neurosurgeons can help. Utilizing the skilled staff and state-of-the-art diagnostic equipment at Sioux Valley Hospital, these physicians work with patients and their families to begin the recovery process. If you experience neuromuscular problems, see your personal physician. Sioux Valley Hospital, there when you need us.
An earthquake in South Dakota. The story tonight at 10.
Tonight. Fire, Mr. Scott. Fire. The Enterprise returns to an alien planet to rescue Spock.
Seize the secret of the spectrum.
William Shatner, Leonard Nimoy, and back from the future, Christopher Lloyd.
Destruct sequence 1.
Get out of there! It's the final battle of the Starship Enterprise. Star Trek 3, The Search for Spock.